ぺです。今日は、日本全国の20以上ある日本語学校がウクライナから避難してきた人を受け入れるためのクラウドファンディングが立ち上がった内容を英語で勉強しようと思っています。日本に住むための財政援助であったりとか、または無料の日本語コースを提供するといった内容になります。はい、それでは頑張っていきます。
Japanese language schools in Japan launched a crowdfunding campaign for Ukrainian refugees. The group, Japanese Support for Ukrainian Students, said it will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing their country and to provide them financial aid to live in Japan. The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. The ultimate goal is to raise 60 million Japanese yen. This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. The group hopes to accept around 10 people this month.
はい、ここまでになります。聞き慣れた、内容も、また単語もあったと思うんですけれども、ちょっとね、長い文章ではあるんですが、勉強しようかなと思ってます。はい、じゃあ最初は、Japanese Language School からかな。
Japanese language schools in Japan launched a crowdfunding campaign for Ukrainian refugees.
Japanese language school in Japan launched a crowdfunding campaign for Ukrainian refugees か。ちょっとね、発音がわかんない。
Japanese language schools in Japan
School in Japan か。School in Japan。やっぱこう、パーンが上がるんだね。Japan はね。Japanese language school in Japan
launched a crowdfunding campaign for
crowdfunding campaign か。campaign
Ukrainian refugees. Ukrainian refugees. For Ukrainian refugees.
Japanese language school in Japan launched crowdfunding campaign for Ukrainian refugees. ちょっとここはつなげていこう。
Japanese language schools in Japan launched a crowdfunding campaign for Ukrainian refugees.
Japanese language school in Japan launched Japan ここもうちょっとあって。
Japanese language schools in Japan
ここもっとあれだな。Japan ほんとね、ここジャパンぐらいはちゃんと発音できるようにしたいね。Japanese language school in Japan Japanese language school in Japan launched a crowdfunding campaign
for Ukrainian refugees.
Japanese language school in Japan か。
Japanese language schools in Japan
Japanese language school in Japan Japanese language school in Japan launched Japanese language school in Japan launched a crowdfunding campaign for Ukrainian refugees か。Japanese language school in Japan launched crowdfunding campaign for Ukrainian refugees. Okay. Japanese language school in Japan launched a crowdfunding campaign for Ukrainian refugees. Japanese language school in Japan launched a crowdfunding campaign for Ukrainian refugees. Okay, もう一回。Japanese language school in Japan launched a crowdfunding campaign for Ukrainian refugees. Okay. Japanese language school in Japan launched a crowdfunding campaign for Ukrainian refugees. Okay. Japanese language school in Japan launched a crowdfunding campaign for Ukrainian refugees. はい、次。ちょっと次長いんだよな。
The group, Japanese Support for Ukrainian Students, said it will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing their country and to provide them financial aid to live in Japan. The group, Japanese Support for
The group で止まるね。The group, Japanese Support
Ukrainian Students
for Ukrainian Student ウクライナの支援するとかグループの日本で The group, Japanese Support なるグループ The group, Japanese Support for Ukrainian Student say とか こは、あれだな、ちょっと理解してもらわなきゃダメだな。The group, Japanese support for Ukrainian students.
The group, Japanese Support for Ukrainian Students, said it will use
use. The group, Japanese support.
the fund to
待って、もう一回ここは Japanese.
the group, Japanese
Japanese って単語もちゃんと言えるようにしなきゃダメ。The group, Japanese support.
Japanese support for Ukrainian
Japanese support.
students said it
Ukrainian student.
needs support for Ukrainian students.
The group, Japanese support for Ukrainian student. もう一回行きましょうか。
The group, Japanese Support for Ukrainian Students,
Japanese support for Ukrainian student.
Japanese Support for Ukrainian Students,
For Ukrainian student. Support. The group. Japanese support for Ukrainian student. ちょっとレイニャンがなんかちょっと
Japanese Support for Ukrainian Students,
ウクライナスクーデント。ちょっと深く考えすぎだな。The group, Japanese support for Ukrainian student. Server for ここが難しいんだよな。
students said it will use the fund
Server user fund
said it will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing their country.
Server user fund Ukrainian user server fund server user fund for Ukrainian server user fund to Ukrainian welcome to ここはリズムよく言ってるな。
Use the fund to welcome Ukrainians
welcome Ukrainian か welcome Ukrainians
the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing their country.
flee in the country か welcome Ukrainian flee in the country welcome Ukrainians server user fund Ukrainian first sales funds to central fund to regular ここはちょっとあれだな
Fund to welcome Ukrainians.
fund regular
Use the fund to welcome Ukrainians.
fund to welcome Ukrainians
Use the fund to welcome Ukrainians.
use the fund to welcome Ukrainians use the fund to welcome Ukrainians ここはちょっと待って
Fund to welcome Ukrainians.
welcome
Will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians.
welcome Ukrainians これちょっとリアルだな welcome Ukrainians
The fund to welcome Ukrainians.
welcome Ukrainians かやっぱこれユクレイニアンスって言ってんだよなwelcome Ukrainians server user fund Ukrainian welcome sales funds welcome welcome Ukrainians sales funds welcome Ukrainians fleeing their country send welcome 待ってserver 待って
Welcome Ukrainians fleeing their country. Use the fund. Students said it will use the
server user fund
fund to welcome Ukraine.
funds か server user funds welcome Ukrainians welcome
Use the fund to welcome Ukrainian.
Ukrainians ここがなんかいかないんだななんか癖がいかないんだな server user fund sales funds welcome Ukrainians welcome Ukrainians あれ口が回んねセルボ
fund to welcome you. Will use the fund to welcome you. Said it will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians. Said it will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians. Said it will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians. Said it will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians. Said it will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing.
Welcome Ukrainians. Welcome Ukrainians. Ukrainians. Welcome Ukrainians. Welcome Ukrainians. Welcome Ukrainians. Welcome Ukrainians. Welcome Ukrainians. Welcome Ukrainians. Says the funds. Said will use the funds. Welcome Ukrainians. Said will use the funds. Welcome Ukrainians. Fleeing the country. Fleeing the country か。Said will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians. Said will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country. Said will use the fund to Ukrainian. Said will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country. これは発音も難しいしな。歓迎するために資金を使用します。Said will use the funds. そうか。Said will use the fund to資金を使用しますか。資金を使用します。Said will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country. Said will use the fund to use the welcome Ukrainians. Says the funds. Said will use the fund to Ukrainian. Says the fund to use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country. Fleeing the country. Said will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians. Said will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country. これ意味が分かってくると少し発音ができるようになるかもな。うん。リズムが分かってくるように。Said will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country. ここまで行きましょうかね。ちょっともう一回最初から行こうかな。
The group, Japanese Support for Ukrainian Students, said it will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing their country.
よし、ここまでまで行きましょうかね。The group, Japanese Support for Ukrainian Students, said it will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country. The group, Japanese Support for Ukrainian students. The group, Japanese Support for Ukrainian students, says the use of funds to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country. Okay. The group, Japanese Support って言ってるかな Japanese Support 待って、わかんないので。
The group, Japanese Support
か。Japanese Support The group, Japanese Support in, The group, Japanese Support for Ukrainian Students, said will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country. Said will use the fund,ここはね、うまく言えるかどうかね。セレボって聞こえるかもしょうがない、ここは。うん。
Use the fund to welcome said it will use the
fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country.
Said it will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing their country.
Ukrainians, welcome Ukrainiansって上がっていかないとダメだね。Welcome Ukrainians. Said will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country. Said will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country. The group, Japanese Support for Ukrainian students. The group, Japanese support for Ukrainian students set up use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country. OK, もう一回。The group Japanese support for Ukrainian students set up use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country.
And to provide them financial aid to live in Japan.
And to provide them financial aid to live in Japan. わかんないね、ここは。ちょっと待って。
Provide them provide them, and to provide them financial,
and provide them, and provide it, and provide it, and provide them,
financial aid, provide them,
provide them, and provide them financial aid to live in Japan.
provide them financial aid to live in
Financial aid, financial aid, financial aid.
Japan. Financial aid to live in Japan. Financial aid to live in Japan.
Financial aid to live in Japan. To live in Japan. To live in Japan. And provide.
Financial. Provide them. And to provide them.
And provide it. And provide them. And provide them. And provide it. And provide them. And provide it. Financial aid to live in. Financial aid. Financial aid. 財政援助ね。Financial aid. Financial aid. To live in Japan, to live in Japan, financial aid to live in Japan, and to provide them, and to provide them, and to provide them, and to provide them,
and fleeing their country, and to provide them,
and to provide them, and to provide them, and to provide them financial aid to live in Japan.
Provide them financial aid to live in Japan.
Financial aid to live in Japan. Financial aid to live in Japan. Financial aid to live in Japan, and provide them financial aid to live in Japan. Financial aid to live in Japan, and provide them financial aid to live in Japan, and provide them か。提供するね。and provide them financial aid to live in Japan, and provide them financial aid to live in Japan. Financial aid and provide them, and provide them financial aid. 全の後に financial aid をする。and provide them financial aid to live in Japan. provide them, them 何々をか。them 何々に何々をか。and provide them, and provide them, and provide them, and provide them financial aid to live in Japan. Okay. The group, Japanese support for Ukrainian students. Set up use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the countries, and provide them financial aid to live in Japan. もう一回行きましょうか。The group, Japanese support for Ukrainian students. Set up fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country, and provide them financial aid to live in Japan. The group, Japanese support, the group, Japanese support for Ukrainian students. Set up use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing the country, and to provide them financial aid to live in Japan. ここは難しいね。もう一回ここ最初から行こうかな。最後ね、ここね。
The group, Japanese Support for Ukrainian Students, said it will use the fund to welcome Ukrainians fleeing their country and to provide them financial aid to live in Japan.
なるほど。難しいね。なるほど、なるほど。よし、次、行こ
う。The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians.
The group will also
give free Japanese.
The group will also give free Japanese. The group will also give free Japanese courses.
The group will also give free Japanese courses to the
courses か。
The group will also give free Japanese
courses. The group will also give free Japanese
The group will also give free
The group will also か。ここ一個一気に言っちゃうね。一気に言ってるね。The group will also give free
The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians.
to the Ukrainians. The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainiansか。The group will also give free Japanese courses. The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. ここはちゃんと言えるようにしよう。
The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians.
Courses to the Ukrainians. ここ一気に下がってんな。Japanese courses. to free Japanese courses to the free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. Free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians か。The group will also give free Japanese. ここで上がってない。Free Japanese が一番強いな。The group will also give free Japanese courses. The group will also give free Japanese courses. Free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. The group will also give free Japanese courses to Ukrainians. Okay. The group will also give free. 待て。ちょっとあれだな。The group will also give free Japanese courses. The free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. The group will also free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. The group will also give free Japanese courses. The group will also ちょっと待って。もう一回。
Group will also give free free Japanese course. The group will also give free Japanese courses to the group will also give free
Also give. The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. The group will also give the group will also give the group will also give free Japanese. The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians. ちゃんと意味分かってないんだよね。will also give free Japanese to the Ukrainians. そんなに難しい文章ではないんだけどね。なんかね、発音が早く聞こえるよね。The group will also give free Japanese courses to the Ukrainians.
The ultimate goal is to raise 60 million Japanese yen. 60 million goal is to raise. The ultimate goal is to raise. The ultimate goal is to raise 60 million Japanese yen. The ultimate goal is to raise 60 million Japanese yen. The ultimate goal is to raise 60 million Japanese yen.
Ultimate goalか。The ultimate goal is the ultimate goal
60 raise the ultimate goal the ultimate goal the ultimate goal the ultimate goal is to raise the ultimate goal is to the ultimate goal is to raise the ultimate
これザって聞こえるけど、字なんだろうか、発音は。ザールデンガール、ザールデンガール、ザールデンガール。なんかけどこれ字なんだろうけどな。ザールデンガール、オールメントガール、オールメントガール。
ultimate goal is to raise ultimate goal is to
ultimate goal, ultimate goal, ultimate goal, the ultimate goal, the ultimate goal is
goal is to raise 6
it's too late, it's too late, it's late, it's too late,
ultimate goal is to raise
it's
6
too late, ultimate goal is to raise, ultimate goal is to raise, the ultimate goal is to raise, or the ultimate goal is to raise, the ultimate goal is to raise, the ultimate goal is to raise, the ultimate goal is to raise
60 million Japanese yen. Goal is to raise 60 million Japanese yen. Ukrainians. The ultimate goal is to raise 60 million Japanese yen. The ultimate goal is to raise 60 million Japanese yen. The ultimate goal is to raise 60 The ultimate goal is to raise 60 The ultimate goal is to raise 60 The ultimate goal is to raise 60
Israelites って聞こえるな。Israelites
Ukrainians. The ultimate goal is to raise 6 ultimate goal is to raise 6
Israelites The ultimate goal is raised. The ultimate goal is raised. The ultimate goal is raised 60 million Japanese yen.
The Ukrainians. The ultimate goal is to raise 60 million.
もう一回。
The ultimate goal is to raise 60
It's right.
The ultimate goal is the ultimate goal is to raise 60 million. The ultimate goal is to raise 6 The ultimate goal is to raise 60
でもここ細かく考えなくていいかな。The ultimate goal is raised. The ultimate goal is raised. The ultimate goal is raised. The ultimate goal is raised 60 million Japanese yen. これだな。全部発音をコピーするんじゃなくて、自分なりに理解して言えるようにした方がいいね。うん。完璧にシャドーイングは、ちょっと考えたらキリがない。The ultimate goal is raised. The ultimate goal is raised. The ultimate goal is raised. The ultimate goal is raised 16 million Japanese yen. The ultimate goal is raised. 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 The ultimate goal is raised 60 million Japanese yen. The ultimate goal is raised. The ultimate goal is raised. The ultimate goal is raised. Okay. Ultimate goal is to raise. The ultimate goal is to raise 16 million Japanese yen. 言えな最後が。The ultimate goal is to raise 60 million Japanese yen. 60 million Japanese yen. 60 million Japanese yen. The ultimate goal is raised 60 million Japanese yen. ダラスって言っちゃうわ。The ultimate goal is to raise 60 million Japanese yen. The ultimate goal is raised 60 million Japanese yen. The ultimate goal is raised. The ultimate goal is raised. The ultimate goal is to raise. It's raised. The ultimate goal is to raise 60 million Japanese yen. The ultimate goal is to raise 60 million Japanese yen. はい、もう一回。これじゃあ次行こう。
This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees.
もう一回。
This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. This will allow the group to
This will
allow the group to support
This will allow the group. 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 This will allow the group to support more than
This will allow the group to support more than
to support more than,やっぱ support って言うんだね。support. to, this will allow the group to support. This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. ちょっと待って。This will allow the group for the support. This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. This will allow the, これにより This will allow the group to support more than グループは100人以上のグループ This will allow the group けどこういう言い方するんだね allow This will allow the group to This will allow the groupこれ to がつくんだねこの後ねThis will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. To support more than 100 refugees.
This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees.
This will allow the group to support more than This will allow the group to support more than This will allow the group to support more than This will allow the group to support more than This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. This will allow the group to support more than This will allow the group to support more than This will allow the group to support more than This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. This will allow the group こういう言い方なかなかしないよね。This will allow the group to support more than This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. This will allow the group to support more than This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. This will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees.
100 refugees.
100 refugees か。これね、でもね、this will allow to support。こういう言い方、なかなかしないけど、覚えたいね。This will allow the group to support more than か。何を支援できるようになりますか。This will allow the group, this will, これにより、これは this will, これにより、this will allow the group. なんかでも会話文ではなんか使うかな、これな。演説とか記者会見とかに使うような言葉っぽいな、これな、あとは。This will allow the group to support more than, this will allow the group to support more than, this will allow the group to support more than 100 refugees. はい、次行こう。
The group hopes to accept around 10 people this month. The group hopes to accept around 10 people. The group hopes to accept around 10 people this month. The group hopes to accept around 10 people this month. The group hopes to accept around 10 people this month.
10 people this month は聞こえるよね。でも This group hopes to accept around 10 The group hopes to accept plan. ここはね、焦らないでいきたいね。The group hopes to accept plan 10 people this month. The group hopes to accept plan. もう一回聞いてみようか。
The group hopes to accept around 10 people this month.
ここはちゃんと滑舌で言えるかどうかだね。The group hopes to accept plan. The group hopes to accept plan. The group hopes to accept land. The group hopes to accept land. The group hopes to accept land. Around か。The group hopes to accept land 10 people this month. The group hopes to accept land 10 people this month. The group hopes to accept land. そうか。The group hopes to accept land. The group hopes to accept land, hopes to accept land, 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 accept land. The group hopes to accept land, accept land. The group hopes to accept land, around. The group hopes to accept land. The group hopes to accept land, around. The group hopes to accept land. 10 people this month.
The group hopes to accept around 10 people this month. Accept around 10 people this month.
もう一回行きましょうか。
Around 10 to accept around 10 people this month. The group hopes to accept around 10
around. The group hopes to accept land. The group hopes to accept land. The group hopes to accept land.
The group hopes to accept around 10 people this month.
Around. The group hopes to accept land. The group hopes to accept land 10 people this month. The group hopes to accept land, hopes to accept land, hopes to accept land, hopes to accept land, hopes to accept land. はっきりだな。はっきり言えるかどうか。accept land, hopes to accept land 10 people. 10 people. This month か。The group hopes to accept land. The group hopes to accept land 10 people this month. The group hopes to accept land. The group hopes to accept land 10 people this month. 一個一個の単語はね、優しい単語なんですけれどもね、やっぱり発音が文の中でのイントネーションとか発音とかくっつき方とかね、結構難しいですよね。まだまだ慣れないけど頑張っていきたいと思います。はい、今日はここまでです。ここまで聞いてくれてありがとうございます。それではバイバイ。